Hello,
Hey.
everyone. It is Felicia Carter with Spiritual Growth Podcast, and today we have a very special guest, Phoenix the Goddess. I want to give you all just a couple of minutes to come in since we only like 3 minutes late. We is not that late, so come on in here because I know y'all should have been lined up and waiting. But anyway. Go ahead and make sure that you heart this live and share this out. We are going to go ahead and we're going to get Phoenix Goddess introduced to you all, and we are going to have an amazing podcast this evening. And
Yeah.
I can see from my Facebook page, it look like everything is up and running.
Yes.
So
If you can, tag me and like let's share it. Share it to tag me on the page, on
yes,
my
let me
page.
try.
Share
Yeah.
it. Let's share it up. Let's do it.
Yes, y'all. I'm
Spread the love.
do that. Okay, let's go ahead. And first of all, I do want to say because I didn't get a chance to say, but your makeup looks beautiful. I love that. Them
Thank
colors
you. I to
looks
myself, I
awesome.
was like, if I'm gonna be live, I gotta be on fleek, because so many people be like, "Oh, you got them filters. Oh, you ain't cute without the filter." Oh, yes, I am, baby. I am
Right,
cute in real life.
exactly. Right,
So,
because don't nobody
yeah,
need filters now. We
we
good
don't. I
without
don't
it.
need it. I am good without it. I'm
Yes.
actually beautiful without the makeup too, but I just like the little razzle dazzle for the 8-8.
Yeah,
So,
see, if I
you
knew how
know,
to do it, if I knew how to do it, I probably have a little bit here and there, but it irritate my
yeah,
eyes and stuff too.
yeah,
So, like,
yeah. As a
all right,
Phoenix, I
well,
gotta have color. Yes,
yeah,
and that's part of
exactly.
love. If I promote self love, I gotta promote self love, of course.
Oh,
So
yes,
self love is all about
definitely.
what makes you feel good, and self love is different for everybody. It's not a one size fits
Exactly.
all.
Yes,
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that. All right,
yeah,
well, let's go ahead and get Goddess introduced. She is a self-love expert and a shaman and so many other things.
yeah.
Yes. So go ahead and get yourself introduced. It looks like we got some people on here. They are sharing and hearting the live for us.
Okay, I love the love. Okay, awesome. So, yes, I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. So, what up, Dell, to my Detroit people? I moved to Birmingham, Alabama. So, shout out to the South as well. So, I'm a multifaceted individual. I believe in you don't have to be a product of environment. You can always study, grow, there's layers to life and there's layers to yourself, and that you can always grow and become whatever it is that you desire to be to the highest good. So, upcoming in life, I always loved books. I always loved literature. I always loved learning the history of our people. So, I love comedic history. I love learning about chakras at an early age. Um, Dr. Sebi, Malcolm X, Tupac Shakur. I'm just inspired by just great people with big personalities. I have a big personality, even though I'm only 5'3". So it's
Look,
just
I
like,
applied too.
okay, so
Yeah.
big things come in small packages. So
Mhm.
I just growing up, I was inspired by people who just had a lot to offer to the world, and they just had a lot of individuality and a lot of intelligence. And I just stood on that. I was like, I love, the holistic lifestyle. I love intelligence. Um, I love learning about chakras, shadow work, shamanism, holistic things, and that having a very sharp third eye would really be able to help me to change myself and change the world. And that's what really brought me to where we are now. Being able to heal myself help me to heal others as well. That I'm a mirror, that whatever you see in me, you see in yourself. So we're reflections of each other. So I love it. I have a very multicultural and multifaceted background. I have Black and different races in my background. So I've always just been very well versed in my life. And I just like being able to have a lot of diversity and inclusion and teaching people that, it's not complicated as we make it. We all can flourish. We all can teach each other. We all can forever grow, and forever, you're always the student and the teacher in this journey, that we all can learn and grow from each other. and it's always an exciting thing for me. So yeah,
I love that. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
this is going to be an amazing conversation. My
It
first
is.
question here would be, I guess, like, because you said that you started learning at an early age. So,
I
like,
did.
how old were you when you actually started, getting into your spirituality?
Actually, it started as early as the age of 5 years old. I knew at the age of 5 I was just different from most people. I just wanted to read a lot. I wanted to study about herbs. I wanted to study about things to make you feel better from home. I started tinctures at an early age. Like when my mom or anybody in my family didn't feel well, I was already in the kitchen making things. So my mom, when I was little, those who know my real name, she used to call me Dr. Danielle. And she was like, there go my baby going to make some stuff. So I always was cooking or making things at an early age. I was in the kitchen, just healing from the kitchen and in the garden. I love growing things. I have a green thumb. So a lot of people who don't know the different layers of me, the more intellectual and the more cultured, attributes of me, they just think that I'm just some shout out silly individual, but that's just the entertaining aspects of myself. But there's always layers. I'm a diamond, so I have so many angles that I can shine. And so yes, it started at 5, and I learned about books, and I used to order back in the day, they used to have the National Geographic books about learning about different books, different animals, different insects, different herbs. So I've always been big on studying. So I used to watch documentaries back in the day, just in transparency. Like I said, you don't have to be a product of your environment. We weren't the richest family.
Mhm.
So I didn't have cable. So we watched a lot of documentaries and public television and different things. And so I just studied that. And I used to watch Dr. Sebi and things that he was talking about, like with sea moss and things of that
Mhm.
nature. So that just inspired me. And I learned things about like black seed oil and just the things that herbs could do. And I'm like, wow, like, to me, I was like, God has just so much healing in these plants and so much in these herbs, and just nature is medicine. Nature
Mhm.
is just life. And then as I got a little bit older, like in my teen years, that's when the chakra element got introduced to me. So
Yeah.
um, at an early age, I just was interested into just different spectrums of spirituality. And then by my early 20s, that's when, I started learning about rituals and Reiki and
Wow.
shamanism. That got
Yeah.
introduced to me. And I was like a certified shaman by my late 20s as a shamanic practitioner. So, it just was so much fun to me. Like, this is a passion. This is not something that I do because, oh, I just want the money. No, I did it because
Mhm.
it heals me. It helped me to beat cancer. It helped me to, heal my family. It helped me to break generational curses. It helped me to, overcome depression and anxiety. So this is a lifestyle for me. This is not, oh, I want to do it because it's popular. This is what is trending. This is a hashtag. Before the hashtags existed, I live this life.
Mhm.
This is who I am. And it's not something that's ever going to change about me. So, people got to get with it or get lost. That's how it goes. So I'm going to stay authentic and true to
Yes,
this. It's
definitely.
definitely in me and not on me. So I love it.
Yes. And that's something that you don't see a lot, like that people don't talk about a lot is when they started their spiritual journey at that young of an age. Like,
Yeah.
because most of us were like, running around. We weren't thinking about any of that stuff. So
Mhm.
I love and I haven't like been in this for a very long time. Like I was religious before and stuff. So but not really into it, super
Right.
heavy or anything. But um, like most kids are just doing whatever,
Yeah,
that they don't want to focus on all of that serious stuff. But
they
I
do.
love that, it was something that you were doing. I love that, and you said that it also helped you to heal cancer. And that's something that a lot of individuals struggle with, losing
Right.
people who have had cancer,
Yeah.
and that's something big because you can heal from herbs. And you
Yeah.
just have to know what it is. You have to be consistent with it. You have to, stay the course.
Yeah.
Um, but I love that. Like,
Yes. It
I
was just
mean,
it brought me so much joy, and that's the reason why I got into it. It makes me so
yeah.
happy. Like even if I shed a tear, it's like tears of joy. Like shamanism literally saved my life. Like it makes me happy to like when other people come to me and be like, I'm ready to start my spiritual journey, and people
Mhm,
come to me, or when people be like, well, who does great Reiki? Who does reading? Who does this and that? And people, from near and far, people that I've never met in person, tag me and they know that I genuinely love them. And people come to me and they call me auntie, that they treat me like,
mhm,
family, and I love them genuinely like family. I have nicknames for my community because I have a sense of humor. Like I'm never like really
mhm.
cocky. I'm confident, but I'm not cocky
Yeah,
about it. I call my tribe my sunflowers because they're bright, they're
yeah.
vibrant, they're
Oh,
growing, we're under the sun, together.
yes.
When
I love
sunflowers
that.
do collectively, it's a scientific fact that they do grow together, and the way that they do, they take care of each other.
Yes.
The way sunflowers do and the nutrients that they provide is just beautiful. So that's why I've nicknamed my tribe sunflowers. And I do have a silly nickname for those who just are like, they just opposing energies because they don't understand, and it's okay. I call them
Mhm.
onion powder because they still are essential. It's just a
Yeah,
little dry, no flavor, but it's okay. We still need you, because without
exactly.
you, you know, I wouldn't understand who I am. So I appreciate those who, love and don't love me because they encourage me to be my authentic self. And that is something in the journey of finding out who you are and self-love that's so important, that you need those who love and don't love you,
Yeah,
because they push you to be like, okay, I need to go harder. I need to do better. I need to go into the layers of myself. And that's what chakras also did for me. Like for the root chakra is about, your finances, your success, your securities, your insecurities, and things of that nature. And the root chakra, relates to like the lower spine. So it's like your physical body, your spiritual body, everything like about spirituality and the physical life
mhm,
connect. And I'm like, yo, this is beautiful how everything is connected, and that
yeah,
we make life so complicated, but it's really not. We just
yeah,
got to go to the basics.
yeah. We definitely, we definitely make life complicated.
We do
So,
a lot of times.
yes. So, since you started everything so young, like going through your self-love journey, like how was that experience for you? And I asked because, going through the ups and downs of life, you
Mhm.
know, a lot of us have struggled with our own self-love throughout
Right.
certain points of our life. So how did you like get through, and was your self-love journey, was that continuous? Did it like, was there times where you felt like, man, I just, I don't love myself to the fullest? Like, how did you deal with that?
Well, that's where I will say shadow work always comes in
Mhm,
to hold you accountable. Shadow work allows you to see your triggers, your
mhm,
traumas, your fears, your areas of opportunity and focus that you may need to work
mhm.
on, because in the journey, you're always growing. You always have something that you're going to have to work on.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be perfect,
Mhm.
but like I teach, my fellow sunflowers, you don't have to be perfect to be in your purpose. And that in the healing journey, there's not a one size fits all. And so shadow work, like, tonight I actually have a shadow work class. So like after we talk,
Mhm.
I'm actually gonna talk to my shadow work babies,
Mhm.
about it. That, it starts with the root, your inner child, the root chakra. I start with the inner child, talking about, What are things from your childhood that you have allowed to trigger you into adulthood? What are things you may have been bullied about? What are things that you allow to still hold you back from you? And
Mm-hmm.
what are some things you can tell yourself? It can be as easy as writing yourself a letter, or like the Michael Jackson song, talking to that man or that woman in the mirror and saying, hey, what is something I can change? There's things I can do, and there's things that I need to maybe work on. But it's a day at a time. It's not going to be overnight to become better, but it will. So it's all about perception. It's all about how you talk to the water, because we're made of water, and water is a smart element. Water is scientifically shown that it holds memory. So why not talk a little bit wiser to the water so that it holds a better memory? So then it goes into the sacral chakra. That's the next day that we talk about. And that is your sexuality, your creativity. And that's still shadow work. What are some connections? What are some ties you need to let go of? What are the connections that you have? What is, how are you okay with your sexuality? What are your relationships looking like? Do you have healthy boundaries? Do you have good boundaries with yourself? Do you have a good relationship with yourself? Do you want to date yourself? Would you marry yourself? Start interviewing yourself. Like I also became a life coach. So, I became my own client first before I allow others, So I check myself first. Shadow work makes you hold yourself accountable and ask yourself some interesting questions. And then we go into the solar plexus. Okay. So I know that I have a purpose, but what is my purpose? What am I passionate about? What am I not doing about my passion? What have I held myself back from? Is there some classes I need to take that I haven't taken? Is there some exercises I haven't done? Is there some things that I just held myself back from because I care too much about how my family and or friends feel? I need to show up for me because this is my journey. What do I need to do for me? That's the solar plexus. That's how shadow work relates to the solar plexus. Like, so when people think shadow work and chakras don't correlate, that's a lie. Everything is more connected than what we think. Then we go into your emotions. The emotions, which this is where shadow work drastically changed me. Shadow work and emotional intelligence. See, because with emotional intelligence, I learned that my feelings were valid,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to learn when to observe certain things with my emotions or absorb certain things with my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Learning how to be intelligent with my empathy, or learning how to, just have that switch, turning things on and off, not taking on too much, not taking on too many burdens, not over giving, not oversharing, learning to love me, learning to give that love that you would give others to yourself first. That's how shadow work and the heart chakra correlates. Forgiving yourself, forgiving your family, looking at the trauma in your family. What are some things you swept under the rug? What are some things you have to forgive yourself and others for? That's how that connects. Then the intelligence, the emotional intelligence steps in again. You know, how am I going to implement these boundaries? How am I going to hold myself accountable for these boundaries? What activity am I going to do to ensure that I'm doing the right thing? How I'm going to communicate in a healthy way, in a consistent way. So then the throat chakra actually connects with the heart, because you got to communicate. And then you have to make sure that the other party and yourself is comprehending. What kind of affirmations, mantras, prayers, what conversations are you having? Who do you have to cut off? you know, or who can stay? Because in your journey, everybody can't go. And that's something I had to learn. Like in my journey, as I started to grow, as I started to elevate, people began to understand me, and some people began to not understand me. And I had to become at peace with both parties in a mature and respectful way, and learn how to love both parties accordingly. And with shadow work and emotional intelligence, you learn how to filter out both types of parties accordingly without allowing yourself to lose yourself in that process. And it took a while to get to this point, but I'm so happy that I'm here
because at first I used to deal with depression and anxiety, and it used to trigger me so bad because I love so hard. And being betrayed or being denied and not being accepted used to bother me so much. But now I have peace with my alignment. I have peace with who I am. I have peace with my purpose that is like Dr. Seuss, those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter, you know? And then going to the third eye, your consciousness. You got to start. Shadow work means you got to continuously study. You have to continuously, what are you feeding yourself? Your diet, the people in your life, what kind of water do you drink? What kind of people are in your circle? Start eliminating what doesn't align to your growth, and start adding on to more that what does. And that's how I literally manifested this experience. That's how I manifested the Ka Age family and everything, because of my growth, because of the fact that I desired better for myself, and that I desired to teach others that, you know, you can grow. You don't have to be limited. And don't, like my dad taught me, in life, if you really want something, two things is going to happen. Either you're going to make an excuse or you're going to make a way. No matter what your circumstance, you're going to do one of the two. So he's always been my spirit guide, for me, and my angel now, so um, on 8/8, I dedicate a lot to him. He was my shaman before me. He passed it down to me. So, the ancestors, those who lived before you, they vicariously want to see you take those steps and make them proud, So you have to remember that as you exist, it's not just about you. It's about the seeds that you're planting and the youth, the future, So I don't want to just live for me. I want to make sure the next level is taking care of the crown, So I want to make sure my crown shines so bright that it creates another level of crowns for the future, the kids. And so my two sons, they look up to me a lot, you know. And so with shadow work, that's the spirituality, your path. How are you going to stay consistent, committed to the journey? How are you going to pay it forward? So again, shadow work is always ever flowing, ever going. It's a ever going cycle and journey. And that's how it's supposed to be. It's a garden. It's supposed to always feed you. It never dies. So it's an energy. So that's how I love the self-love journey, the shadow work journey, shamanism, the medicine wheel, everything all correlates and connects. So people just make it complicated, but it's not. They just got to take a moment and breathe, read, and understand how things apply or don't apply to them and move accordingly. I think I hear a little one. It's so sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. My
my
mom, so
my
my
goodness.
mom here,
Yeah,
we
my
play all. Oh, I
Wi-Fi
was
is
like,
acting up. Oh yeah, my daughter is in her room
I love kids, and
playing
so
the
I always
game.
I hear and I can hear them. They be enjoying myself.
um,
If my
I'm
son does it too.
so 1 second. Can you see me okay? Cause my thing keeps
Yeah,
going
I can
in and
see you.
out.
Yeah, I can see you just fine. You have to keep in
Okay.
mind it is Mercury retrograde, which is the planet of technology
Yes.
and the
Yes.
communication. So a lot of things I just like I roll with it and I understand. So a lot of things I learned to like just
Okay.
roll with it. It's okay.
Yes, I was like, oh no, I'm about to lose her. Wait a minute.
Mm-mm. It's
Right.
okay.
Okay,
Everything's
cool.
okay.
All right. So yes, we have a lot of people who are commenting on here too.
Oh, they
I just
are?
been
I can't see
letting
what
you
they
talk
saying.
because you have been sharing some good stuff. There's a lot of emojis, a lot of hearts and fire signs. Um,
Okay.
we had one of the first, if it'll pop up here, she said, "Yes, I love this."
Good.
And we had Cordelia. She said, as a child, she
Oh,
enjoyed cooking as well. And she
yes.
said, yes. She said,
Yes, the
it all
kitchen
begins
is
in the kitchen.
it do. I love cooking. Like that's where it started. Like I love recipes, and I feel like cooking is therapeutic and medicine to me, and music as well, frequencies, that's another thing that I got into as I
Yes.
got into shamanism and healing myself was that listening to different frequencies helped soothe my mind, and also it helped me to get into music and poetry and other creative outlets. So like
Mhm.
the healing journey is so many ways. People be thinking like, oh, it's only this way. I'm like, no, it's so many different ways. You do what fits you, do what works for you and do it respectfully. You don't have to be disrespectful to others if something doesn't work for one,
Mhm.
something else does for other. That's why, like, when it comes to skincare or healthcare or different things, we all have a unique regimen that may work
Mhm.
for us. And we just give you different concepts as leaders and spiritual guides that, you know, maybe you can just try a certain aspect of the concept and, tweak it and make it your own. And then just see how that works for you. So just like when somebody gives me a recipe and I'd be
Yes,
like,
I love that.
maybe I just need to add this and then I'll make it my own. And okay, this tastes just right for me. And this is
Yes.
perfect for me, you know? And that's
Yes.
that's how I do. Like, when I give out
Yes.
recipes of healing, you don't have to follow that exact protocol. You can adjust it, make it work for you and go from there. Because at the end of the day, I'm about what's authentic, what's peaceful, and what protects you. And I
Mhm.
tell do what works for you, respectfully. There's so many different, religions, different paths of spirituality, different aspects,
Yeah.
but I respect them all. And that's why, I work with all types of clients. I have Christian clients, I have non-Christian clients, I have, people who are not religious at
Yes.
all. And being intelligent and multifaceted and a peaceful person, an intelligent person, I could work with anybody, you know. I can respect anybody, just don't disrespect me because at the end of the day, it doesn't take rocket science.
Mhm.
Complicated to heal. It's not complicated. Love is just love at the end of the day. Love is simply just
Yeah.
I respect you and you respect me. We're reflections of each other.
Yeah.
That's it. You know.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
love that
People just make it
because
so
it's
complicated.
like you see so much. Yes, you see so much,
Mm-hmm.
especially online, especially with the
Yeah.
religious and the Christian community. And, it's like, it's so harsh. And it's like, I, you know, sometimes if you don't catch yourself, you'll find yourself tied up in different stuff if you're not well grounded. And it's
Right.
like, I've seen so much on social media. It's like, okay,
Right.
this is not the route that I want to go. Like, I don't want to feel that way about other people and what their choices are. I don't want to
Right.
be that harsh to other people just because I'm
Right.
not what they're into anymore.
Yeah.
So I definitely
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people should definitely just, if that's what they choose to do, let them do what they choose to do. And at
Right.
the end of the day, I was like, it's all the same, pretty much.
Yeah.
They just
Right.
have a
Like
different way of
things
looking
still
at it.
connect.
We have a different way of looking at it, and other religions do.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not complicated. Like at the end of the
Yep.
day, like we're still all
Cordelia
living beings.
also said, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah, we're all living beings,
So,
and it doesn't take rocket science to treat each other right, and that's what it boils down to. That's what that's what I teach people about at the end of the day. Like, take away all the titles, take away all the extra, and I just desire for you, you to respect me and I
Exactly.
respect you, and I'm about positive energy at the end of the day. Yes, I'm outspoken. Yes, I cuss a lot. I'm not gonna cuss on this live because out of respect, and there's a time and place for everything. Because that's, like I said, I'm a highly intuitive and intelligent being in my own personal space and platform. I do what I want to do because that's my personal space and platform. But in other spaces and platforms, I respect things because, again, there's a time and place for everything. We're multifaceted beings. So we, move accordingly with things. But people just have to learn that intelligence of how to just, learn how to love and respect each other without making things complicated. Looks like it's just me. I took over. But I know Fee is going to return shortly. I'll stay on here with you guys and continue to show you love while I'm here. I know that Felicia will be returning shortly. I'm just glad to be here on 8-8. She'll be returning. I kept it going. I kept it flowing. One thing about me, I'm a
Yes,
team player.
you good.
And
Let me let me grab my earbuds so I can hear you better.
okay, it's cool. Like I'm so good with this. Like it's like I'm used to it because I work in a call center sometimes, so I'm used to having to like cover the gaps, and like they teach us how to cover the dead air and the silence and not have it be awkward and just sitting there. I'm looking at you, looking at me, looking at you, looking at me. We're not doing that. We have a good flow of conversation, and I understand that people just need to hear love and positivity because in the world that we're in now, there's so much chaos, there's so much ignorance, there's so much lack of compassion, lack of understanding, that we really need to see more love. We need to see more people who have understanding and do better, you know? So I'm glad that people can, hear and see this aspect of me because a lot of times people only get a portion of me when they see me post. They only get a percentage and they make an assumption, and they don't understand that I'm a compassionate and very intelligent individual and that I have so many different things that I can offer outside of the comedy, outside of, the beauty, outside of, the different things that they have assumed about me, and I'm so glad that, I get a fair chance to not necessarily entertain myself, but to just educate people because a lot of times they do that a lot. And we gotta learn to stop doing that. But the self-love journey, because I love myself, I'm like, I don't really care what people necessarily think. I'm just gonna continuously grow and teach others through being my authentic self and loving myself and having a great relationship with myself, what that looks like. And hopefully it inspires others. I aspire to inspire.
Yes. I love that. Love that. From what I was able to grasp, I'm gonna have to go back and hear some of the other
Yes,
stuff.
yes. I dropped a lot of different gems,
Yes,
I
you
know
did.
I know a lot of people ask, what are some great self-love things? What are some things that I've done?
Mhm.
Because right now, I'm not in a relationship with a outside individual outside of myself, but in a self-love journey, a good thing to do is to date yourself. I tell people to, because we want to talk about it, to learn about yourself, learn your love language, learn if your love language is touch, acts of service, or etc. There's different types of love language. Learn your love language. Take yourself out on dates, you know, on the intellectual aspect, on the sensual aspect, ladies or gentlemen, learn your turn ons and turns off. Learn your body, invest in yourself, invest in your self-care, invest in your skin, invest in your body, work out, eat right, you know, go to that photo shoot, get your lingerie, or, buy that suit, make yourself feel good. Self-love has so many layers, Take yourself out on that cruise. Don't wait for other people to show up for you. You show up for you. You become your soulmate first. You be whole first. and allow anyone else to be a complement to whatever it is that you are already have to offer, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. Be at peace with yourself. Be happy with yourself. Yes. And I tell people, even with broken clocks, they're right at least twice a day. You can learn something from anyone, you know. So many
Yeah.
times, we look at the messenger and miss the message, Listen to the messages. Never miss a message just because of the messenger, ever. I don't care
Yeah.
who it is, always get the message, you know. So
That's beautiful.
that's always important, I tell people whether they like me or not, if it's something that is important and can change your life, tap in, do
Yeah.
something with it, It's not about me, it's about the message.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I do all the time. Like, whether it's people that I may particularly care for or not, if it's knowledge and it's some energy that can change my life, I'm going to take note and I'm going to take off with
Yeah.
it. So, knowledge is everything,
Yes.
especially now in these days and times, because it's so much ignorance, and ignorance is bliss to so many. But we have to wake up. You see what's
Mm-hmm.
happening on so many levels and so many aspects, that self love and knowledge and consciousness is going to be the key in order to save ourselves and save society as a whole. So that we're going to have to be accountable. We're going to have to love ourselves and each other a lot better. We're going to have some unity. It's inevitable.
Definitely.
Like,
Definitely.
seriously, like, we're going to have some integrity and some better social building in our society
Mm-hmm.
in order to make it, because otherwise
Yes.
it's going to be some chaos. And if you can't tell, I don't know what else to tell you, you know
Mm-hmm.
so everything is intentional. Like, when I do things, I do it intentionally. So I chose this day for a reason, so I'm glad to be talking about the things we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's important, you know
I'm so excited you finally came on because
yeah.
you actually were supposed to be like one of my first guests.
I
But it
know.
happened when it's supposed to.
Right.
So it's perfect. Yes. We do
Right.
have a question.
We do.
So she said, as a shaman, do you have to adapt to a specific diet?
I would say it depends on the shaman. As me, I don't. I say that I do. However, though, with a self love journey, I have noticed, though, I do choose a little bit more consciousness of food. So I've noticed that I do drink like a lot more alkaline waters. I've noticed I've been juicing more. So I've noticed that the deeper and deeper that I go into self love, the better and better choices I have made with foods and fruits, and like how I want to present myself, how I want to look. So I will say that the more that you heal, the more that you get into your journey, the better you're going to want for yourself. It's just going to be a natural thing. You're just going to naturally gravitate to better choices. So, like, there's moments where I noticed that when I was not vibrating as high, I did make more low vibrational choices. But the more that you vibrate high as an individual, period, you're going to make better choices. So I noticed that when I got closer to my journey, I started doing the sea moss, the bitters, and the fruits and the vegetables and the balance. Like, I still like my goat and curry here and there, because I got that islander girl in me. It's gonna come in. I still love lamb and stuff here and there. I gotta have it. But there's a balance. Everything is in balance. Everything is in proportion, not out of hand. But overall, as a shaman, no, we don't necessarily have a specific diet. No. And I have so many different Indian blood types in my bloodline. It's almost insane. So, yeah, I got a lot going on in my
Yeah.
bloodline. But I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yes. If y'all have any more questions, please let us know so that we can get them answered while she is here in person.
Yes, yes.
Um, oh no, oh no, we gotta, yeah, when I get off of here, that's getting deleted. Those Yeah.
So it
Just
was somebody
spam
ignorant.
messages. Yeah, just spam messages.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get them like, oh my God, I
Mhm.
was drawn to you. Can I
Yes,
have
a
you?
whole,
Yeah.
it's like a whole paragraph and then another piece. Like, nah, we're not doing that.
But you have that comes with the territory, and
Uh-huh.
I'm used to that. It's okay. Uh,
Yep.
I'm tickled by it. It's okay.
Right. So, one thing that I don't know if a lot of our audience knows about you is that you are an artist.
Yeah, I
And I
am.
wanted to bring that up when you was talking about the music earlier, but then I started losing service and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so first of all, your music is awesome because I
Thank
got you on my Spotify rotation. Okay, so
Okay. Okay.
that's available on Spotify. Okay,
Yeah.
and I love how authentic it is. I've never heard artists like you, so you definitely one of a kind. All right,
Yes.
I love how your music has so many different messages. One
Yes.
of them, one of them that's my favorite one is Snip because you talk about cord cutting in that song.
Right.
And a lot of
Yes.
people don't know about cord cutting, but they might have been like, seen it or whatever, but they don't really know what it's about. So it's like Snip is one of those songs where it's just like,
Yeah. A
okay,
little
I be,
spicy.
yes, I be going down the street blasting that one. It's just like people probably be like, what is she even listening to? But I'm gonna blast it anyway because it has a message to it,
It does.
So
Yeah.
you're very talented, and so I just wanted to put that out there for y'all real quick too, so that
Yeah.
y'all can go on Spotify and go ahead and just download all the songs.
Yeah.
Some of
I'm
them,
under Divine Goddess on
yes,
Spotify and
Divine
other
Goddess,
music. Yes, I'm Divine Goddess. I will give you the disclaimer. I am explicit. I am very multifaceted and sassy,
and that's
but I have
okay.
a message, in my
Yes,
music. I love, like being real, but also like
yes,
sharing a message. And, so sometimes, as one of my music mentors says, sometimes you got to put the medicine in the candy. And that's what I did with my music. I put the medicine in the
yes,
candy. So,
yes.
I may sound like a little, some people have compared me to like Meg the Stallion with my style, or just
Mm-hmm,
a little bit of Pimp C, because that's who I'm kind of like inspired by with my music. But
mm-hmm,
overall, I like to share up still some positivity in my message, that,
yes,
with cord cutting, snip is about, we have connections sometimes that we have outgrown. And that's
mm-hmm,
part of self-love too, that you know, sometimes we outgrow people and it's okay to let them go. And that
yes,
they no longer can have access to you. Having good spiritual hygiene is a part of self-love, and that not everyone should have access to you. Not everyone should be allowed to touch you. Not everyone should be allowed to experience you. And that
mm-hmm,
only those who are aligned to you should be able to be a part of your life and journey. And
yes,
that,
exactly.
if they not snip, 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 cord cutting, you got to let them go.
Right.
And
Yes,
I can love people from afar. And I've learned to
yes,
do that with so many people. And I'm good with that. So,
yes. And then
so
there's one before the end of the summer. Before the end of the summer, you have to hear "He'll Got a Summer"
yes.
because like that.
You got a
I
summer
think the
is a
name is
thing.
playing right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, because a lot of times, we desire love, especially us ladies. We want to be held. We want to be, wined and dined. We want the, our dudes or our ladies to treat us right. But if they're not, you better choose you. You better show up for you. You better,
Yeah.
take yourself out on that date. You better take yourself out on that cruise. You better still put that dress and heels on and still heal your chakras and pop out and be fine every
Yes.
day for you, regardless. So the glow up is real, So have a heel got a summer regardless, whether you're in a
Yes.
relationship or not, because you're always in a relationship with yourself. And that's what I teach people.
Yes. I love it. I
Yeah.
will put the link in the comments
Okay.
once we get off. Once I can't do it right now
Okay.
because
Yeah, we're
there's no
not.
chat. I can't do it on my phone. There's no
Okay,
chat
cool.
option for me. So
That's
I
fine.
will
I can do it
definitely
on
be
mine. It got
dropping.
a whole little chat option on there and everything.
Yes. I mean, if you want, you can, and then we can pin it.
Yeah, I'll
That's
do it
cool.
afterwards, honey, because I
Yes.
know
I feel
everybody
like
and their mama
after.
finna text and inbox me like, "Oh, I saw you. I saw you,
Oh,
girl." And I'm like, "I saw y'all too." No, I
yes.
didn't, but I can see you now. But I
Poured
really
into.
enjoyed myself so much, and I hope
Yes.
that I have so I help so many people just learn to love themselves, and that's my biggest message. I want you to love yourself to
Yes.
the maximum capacity. That's it.
Yes.
You know, that's what it's all about.
Definitely.
Self
And
love should
I
be
keep
the top.
saying, yep, I keep saying I'm gonna take myself out on a date. It's gonna
Yes,
happen before 2025. It's
you
something I've
better.
never done. So it's gonna happen before 2025 comes because
Okay, you
I
better
feel
take
like that,
pictures.
yes, because I feel like that's the part that I'm missing. Like I've been
Yeah.
doing mirror work, I've been, trying to love on myself a little bit more, but I feel like once I go out on that date and I take myself out on a date, I feel like it's gonna start to connect even more.
It does. And I always tell ladies, especially my ladies, go belly dancing. It's so much fun. Go take yourself to a pole dance class.
I do not
Um,
know where there's a belly dancing, but I'll try the pole
yes.
dancing. I want to try that.
It's so much fun. Cause
I
see,
do want
I
to
know how
try
to belly
that.
dance too. See,
Yeah.
so I've had a lot of fun with, just embracing my sensuality and embracing myself as a divine feminine. So yes, belly dancing and just connecting with yourself and,
Hmm.
just going on the beach and just feeling yourself and that wind and
Yeah.
the water. Oh my God, it's just life. You hear me?
Yeah.
I love it.
I've been taking everybody else out.
Yes,
Exercise.
like
So.
yes, and then like sometimes I do like a self love experience with my girlies. Like I have my bestie, and me and her go on
Hmm.
a self love date, together, and we just have the
Yeah.
best time. Like we just order top shelf stuff and laugh and talk and giggle and just have a good time. And we don't talk bad about men or nothing. Like I have such a
Yeah.
healthy view on men. Like not all men are bad, not all women are bad. Like I just look
Exactly.
at that some people just need to heal. That's what it boils down to.
Exactly. And
You
that's,
know?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So,
even starting this journey, that's what I
yeah.
see. Like I look at it from a different angle now.
Right.
Like
Learn not
it's
to
a
back
lot going
people.
on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Holding people
Yeah.
accountable. Like that's another thing people have to do in the journey. A lot of people, when you learn to love yourself, you learn not to demonize people. You
Mm-hmm.
hold, yourself and others accountable accordingly. And it's just such a healthy vibe, like
Mm-hmm.
um I treat my energy like one of my favorite albums. I'm like, I'm crazy, sexy, cool. Like, the TLC album. I'm like, I have fun. I do me. I'm free, I'm myself, I might cuss a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm cool. I make the best gumbo from scratch. I'm gonna have fun. That's one thing
I
about it.
need
I'm
to
gonna have
try
so
some
much fun.
gumbo.
You got to.
I need to
It's
try
fun.
some. You make the vegetarian gumbo too?
I can make
Look at
both. I can make
yeah.
vegetarian gumbo too. I make both of them. Everything about me is duality. I'm big on
Yes,
duality.
I love it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be like, I'm gonna need me a bowl one day.
I got
'Cause,
you.
yeah.
I got you. Yes,
All right,
it
well,
got
I know
to
you
be.
have things going on after this, so I don't want to
I
hold you
do.
too long.
I got the tribe
Yes,
waiting on me in the back. They want
yes.
they
They're
like
gonna be like,
they
They're
ain't
gonna be like,
reading.
what time is it? What time is it? Nah. But it
They
was
like,
so
where
good
are
to have
that
you,
girl?
right?
Yes, I enjoy
It-
myself too. So
yes.
this is fun. I will, be back next time.
Yes,
At
because
least they know
it's
I'm
still
fine in
so
real
much to
life.
talk about, right? Exactly, right? If
Yeah.
y'all have any other questions or anything like that, you would like to know how to reach out to Goddess, please drop your questions. I'll get links and things like that posted after the live
Yeah.
in so that you can reach out to her and her services as well. All
All
right.
right.
Well, it
So
was so good to have you. Have a great rest of your evening and a
you
great
too.
Lionsgate Portal night, y'all. Happy
Okay.
888.
Oh, as I say.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to y'all
So yes.
later. Bye.
All right. Bye. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.